Greetings, it is I, the Fiendish Dr. Phil Nichols, coming to you for another installment of From the Lab. Well, let's see. It's really hot. We are in the high 90s, high humidity, heat indexes 108, 110, things like that. So it's kind of brutal. But, you know, it's summer and the latex dries faster, and which means it doesn't take as long for things to set up before I can finish them. So that's good. That's good. This week I worked on a lot more sculpting than I had been doing because the commissions are starting to pile up and I need to be working on them. So I got Scream Blackula Scream pretty much done. I do want to do some more finessing of the forms, make sure they're not too sculpted looking, that they look fleshy. So that'll be a little bit more work on him. And I'll show you him in a minute. And I also began blocking out the Wolfman commission. That'll be the full body oh crap moment for Scott Solomon. And I've been pouring up the remainder of the Leprechauns and the Penguins, 1966 Penguins. I have just 2 more pull copies of those to do, and then those molds are retired. So if you haven't told me you want one by the end of this week, you know, it's like knowing the art. The door's closed. You're not getting it. But thanks everybody for ordering all this stuff. I've shipped out this year 30 heads so far, and I am about to begin working on another 35 to 40 heads, painting and seaming and all that stuff. And that's not even the end of the list, because then I got to start doing all the stuff that is 2 or 3 items instead of the bigger items. So thank you so much for your patronage. I really appreciate it. And because of all of this, I've started to retool my workshop, not so much for makeup effects, but strictly for sculpting, because I think I'm going to be here a while, and I really like it, and you like it, so we're going to keep doing it. So speaking of sculpting, let's go ahead and take a look at my William Marshall as Scream Blackula Scream.
Rolling.
As you can see, this is a far superior sculpture to the first one I did way back in 1999. This one, I tried to keep in mind Henry Alvarez's style when I was working on it, and I think I got it. And William Marshall has a very fleshy face, and I actually did a production of Othello with him. When he wouldn't move, his face was just as pristine, but when he would smile or something, all these forms would bubble up. So I was just trying to capture all the forms that I could to make it dimensional, because the original Blackula thing was very rushed. It was a 1-week project. I didn't have the time to put in it, and that's what makes a great art, is the more time you spend on it, finessing it and everything. So I've been able to do that a lot. And I don't know how many of these I'll make, no more than 10. There are about 6 people that have expressed interest, and one of them has put a down payment on it, so he's getting number 1. That's Paul Roberts in England. It's going to have this whole acrylic area, the mouth, the tongue, all of that stuff. And I gave him, Blackula wore 2 different sets of fangs, small ones and big ones, so I gave him the full set of fangs. And you know, he'll have the wild hair work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all the choice of either the Blackula finishing or the Scream Blackula Scream finishing, because the Scream Blackula Scream, they put gray streaks in his widow peak and in his temples, and in Blackula he at the beginning, which is kind of where I based this on, the first time you see him after he's killed the 2 interior decorators, he was wearing kind of a greenish gray makeup. So this more like a zombie skin tone. In fact, the color Maron sells it is zombie flesh. So I mean, we can do that, or we can do a composite of all of them, where he's got that greenish, brownish flesh, and then the gray with the wild hair and everything, and of course the mouth, the blood, and all that, and the glass eyes. So it's going to be a fantastic piece and a really great tribute to a great actor and a great performance. Blackula was a surprisingly good film. It was blaxploitation, but it still holds up today. I mean, the themes in it are still relevant to what's going on in this country right now. And it's amazing that was released in 1972, and 72, and we're still fighting those battles today. But anyway. Here it is, William Marshall, Scream, Blackula Scream. And actually, when I was little, my mom took me to the Roxy Theater in Springfield, Illinois, to see this movie. And the race and all that stuff was going on. There was a lot of friction. So we sat in the back, and the usher kept checking on us. But I wore my best church clothes and the fangs from my Barnabas Collins game to go see Blackula, and there was a little black girl there, and I scared her. I had a great time. So I always remember Blackula fondly. I mean, I was a young kid. I didn't understand all the adult themes in it, but he had fangs, and for vampires to have fangs, and I would get so excited on Dark Shadows when Barnabas would sneer and show his fangs. Everybody did. America did. The ratings would always bump up whenever Barnabas would show his fangs. And Blackula had two uppers and lowers. And actually, this makeup was designed and applied by Fred B. Phillips, who did the makeup for the original Star Trek show. So it's an homage to everybody. And he's actress Jana Phillips' dad. There's a little tidbit for there. And the other thing on the block, very early days, I just pulled the clay press out last night and started just kind of forming where the face is going to go. But this is the Wolfman that will be the full body figure. And I have a lot more sculpting that I have to get done. I have to get Fluffy's chest done. I have to get Fluffy's hands done and molded. I have to get the leprechaun hands recast. And I wanted to get the Pale Man hands done. A lot of you have been bugging me for that. So I want to get them done in this series. So I'm going to be finishing 30 plus heads and sculpting all these things and getting the molds made for them and finishing the full body Fluffy and everything. So I'm going to be really busy, but I'm going to try and do from the labs every couple weeks. That way there's a lot of eye candy for you guys. I know it takes me a long time to get it, but every person who's gotten their piece loves it. And it's because I take the time to put it in like I was doing it for a movie or something, or if it's going on museum quality stuff. So I care about my art, and I want to give you the best piece possible, and it does take me a little time. So I appreciate your patience, and I'll go in the front end and show you the things that are waiting to be seamed. Well, as you can see, there are an awful lot of things that I'm working on right now. I'm going to be finishing up the Leprechaun series. I'm going to finish up the 1966 Penguins. I'm going to finish up the Lagoon Creatures. I'm going to begin the Creepy Carries, finish up these Evil of Frankensteins, of course the Fluffies, the Raptors, a couple one-offs, that last pull of the Jason mask. I got to get that done. Just a lot of stuff that's underway. So your patience is appreciated while I get it done. I know this is the time when a lot of you get excited because you begin to see me working on your pieces, and that's very cool. So just let me get it done right, because I don't want to send it to you and get hateful emails, because that's just not good for anybody. But so far, everything's going well. Now, a lot of you, when Melissa designed this for me, for my return address labels, because I'm getting tired of writing it all out. And then we got a free t-shirt with it, so a lot of you've asked, could we sell these? So we can. And the price is going to be $25 plus $2.50 shipping, so $27.50. And if you'll just let me know your size when you PayPal me, monsters@flash.net, the size, how many you want, and I'll get an order together, and as soon as everybody's sent the stuff in, then I'll order the shirts and we'll send them out to you too. So this is it's very cool. I mean, she did a great job, because it's got my Batman stuff, my Dark Shadow stuff, and the most popular pieces, and the one that Henry first worked with me on. So it's a really cool shirt, and I'm glad that you guys want them. So we're happy to offer them to you. Anyway, that's it for me for now. I got to get back to work. So everybody, enjoy your Sunday. This has been the Fiendish Dr. Phil Nichols from the lab.